This alternative method for setting up multiple outdoor radios is slightly more advanced and requires an additional PoE plus switch and Ethernet cables out to each radio. All power and internet access to the radios is supplied by the PoE plus switch. Please note, choose PoE plus switches and accessories carefully in actual deployment. Power requirements vary based on the product types and number of equipment being connected. The Bobber 500 is optimized for heat dissipation and is equipped with a fanless chassis to prevent dust. It's also manufactured with industrial-grade components that are built to outlast its competitors. The Bobber 500 utilizes a next-generation CPU for high performance and is equipped with high-capacity memory and storage. You can also monitor all the Bobber 500 stats on the Bobber app, which gives you the ability to remote monitor radio heartbeat, download/upload speeds, latency, and much more. Setup list. In this guide, you'll need a Bobber 500 5G miner, an internet router, a gigabit PoE plus switch with 4 or more ports, and 1 to 3 outdoor radios. You'll also need 5 Ethernet cables to connect everything all together. To get started on wiring your multi-radio setup, you'll need to first connect an Ethernet cable from your internet router to the back of the Bobber 500 into the WAN port, like this. Next, you'll need to run an Ethernet cable from the ENB1 port on the back of your Bobber 500 to provide internet access to your gigabit PoE plus switch. Some PoE switches have a specified Ethernet in port. If you do not see one on your switch, then plug into the first or number 1 port on your PoE switch, like this. Now that you have provided internet access to your PoE switch, each port on your switch can now send internet and power to each of the outdoor radios, one from each port that you have access to on your PoE switch, out to each outdoor radio like this. Since you've provided power and Ethernet through the same Ethernet cable, this installation scenario does not require you to provide an external power supply to the outside radios. Pursuant, you have purchased a properly spec'd PoE switch with adequate power for a minimum of 3 or more radios, as outlined in this example. If you have followed these steps correctly, you should have successfully set up your Bobber 500 with multiple outdoor CBRS radios.